This is my Punto HGT. I've serviced it, modified it, dynoed it, taken it on some epic road trips, but there's a problem. It's failed its MOT. In today's episode, I'm going to fix those problems and get that rust checked out. And if I can't get it sorted, then the Punto is off the road for good. One of the things that the MOT highlighted was the traction control light wasn't coming on and the ABS light wasn't coming on. So the reason for that is, as you can see, there's a sticker where the ABS light is, and also there's a sticker where the traction control light is. So step one is to remove those stickers and see if the lights are actually even coming on, because you never know, they might actually be 100% fine. We just don't know until those stickers are removed. So let's get this cluster off and see what we're actually dealing with. There are 4 screws, 2 here and 2 underneath, and that removes that bit of the cowling. And then I somehow need to prise this plastic off, which shouldn't be too difficult, but I'm probably going to do that with both hands. Okay, so I've already moved the ABS one, or the ABS sticker. Now I just need to sort of prise off the other one, and I can't actually get the cluster out completely, but to be honest, I shouldn't need to. Right, okay. Now we just need to put this all back together and then see where we stand at least, and then we can figure out, okay, what's actually broken, what actually, isn't, and then see where we go, because hopefully these lights just do what they need to do and we're actually all fine, and they were just blanked off from an issue that was already been resolved ages ago. That's what we're hoping for. Let's have a look. ABS light comes on, goes out. Traction control light comes on and goes out. I'm just pressing the TCS on and off switch. So I assume light off means that traction control is off. Those lights do come on and go off. So problem solved. That's not anything we need to worry about for the MOT. I still need to get the registration lights changed, or change out the light bulbs there. And that means we just got the rust issue to fix. Awesome. Well, I say awesome, it's probably going to be a lot of money. But again, we have fewer issues to fix. That's a big win. All right, next up the bulb. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, that is properly blown. So that's going to be an easy thing to replace. Get that one. All right, let's double check that works. Nice. So that's the next item off of the MOT list. I need to fix the coolant leak next. I've got some spare hoses, so I'm going to try and fit that when I get the chance, but we are ticking things off the list. And I've also managed to book the car in for another MOT, but also somewhere they can also do the welding. So fingers crossed, hopefully this time next week, the Punto will be back on the road.
Well, that is crusty.
Yeah, and not only is it crusty, people have been jacking it up on this, so it's bent it all up.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
The yellow bit under here is the front wing.
Yep.
So this has got to come off.
Yep.
That's got to come out of the way, either off or out of the way. People have jacked it up on this, which has bent the front wing. There's a bolt here, which bolts the wing to this.
Right.
That's all bent under, so I've got to bend that out to try and get the bolt out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, someone's been undersealing it, which is nasty, because the water gets under it and it just rots it away.
Yeah.
This, although it's crusty, is still pretty strong. But the floor pan's going in there. So what I'm proposing, pull the interior out on this side, cut it sort of along here to get rid of all this grot.
Yeah.
I can unpick all the welds from inside and then replace that whole piece along there.
Okay.
This is an inner wing, and this is a strengthening. This is what you're supposed to jack it up on.
Yeah. And they've just missed it completely.
Yeah, they always do. They jack it up on this. So I think that one is in a similar sort of state. So you can see that's the bolt I was on about.
Yeah.
This is supposed to point down. The bolt's supposed to point out that way.
Yeah.
So why people do it? They always do it though.
Yeah.
Because at first, when we first looked at it, it was just this bit. But having started to go back.
Have you used an inspection screwdriver?
No, I've got a more vicious tool.
Okay, that's fine. Well, at least it put up some resistance.
To try and know. To give it a reasonably accurate price, and there's two floor pans, they join here.
Yeah.
So what I was going to do is come back to here and do all that.
Yeah.
And then I started coming back a bit further. There's a piece missing there, there's a bit missing out of there. We're going right back to here, and when we get back here, this is all.
That's just made of cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit completely missing here. This inner bit's supposed to come down round, and that's completely gone. And it's you can see the end of it, and you can't see it from there.
Yeah.
See this?
Yeah.
This is all supposed to come round here.
Sweet.
So, and you see where it's been jacked up on here as well. And this is what starts it. If you jack it up, it bends it. So this really could do with being done, but it's a fuel tank.
Yeah.
So that I'd have to, if you want us to come back this far, that's going to have to come out. Obviously I can't, and it's plastic, so there's no way I'm welding anywhere near
No,
that.
no, of course
if it's
not.
a metal one, I'll take a chance. But,
Yeah. No,
but I also
fine.
need to get this off. And apart from, I mean, that ain't coming undone.
Yeah.
And that actually clamps on the seal panel. So I don't know if you can get these. I don't know how much you're into these.
I can try.
Yeah, because this bit I think will come undone. That was already undone.
Yeah.
So if I can, but I need to find out how this is held on as well.
I mean, this side skirt is mostly Silkflex with some.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long-bladed knife.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's not too bad because it's basically got like a screw at the back here because I installed this, or reinstalled it myself. So yeah, it's got.
The only thing I'm concerned about is scratching the body panels, trying to get it off. But now that seems like, I mean, it's rusty.
Yeah.
But it's still solid.
Yeah, not great, not awful.
No, but you see under there, see all the layers?
Yeah.
That's where it's blowing. The rust is in it, and it's blowing it all out.
Yeah.
So it is something that's going to want doing.
And this is So basically, 2 new seals, 2 jacking points.
Well, all these panels are getting made.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Trouble is it's quite I'm not so rare car, but there's not loads of them around.
No, because
It's
they've
a
rusted
full,
to pieces.
you can bowl the panels.
Yeah. All right, I'll do some research and see
Okay.
what I can find.
If you can find any kind of panels out, seal panels, floor repair panels, it will save quite a lot of money in me having to make them.
Yeah. All right.
Alright.
I'll put the word out to
Yeah.
the community and see what they can find out.
Just going to put a patch over this. This is all going to be cut out.
Yeah.
I
No.
do take pictures of before, during, and after.
Yeah, I hadn't realised it was quite this bad.
I mean, this is probably, because of the state of this, it's all bubbly here. I'm probably going to be coming sort of back here with this.
Yeah.
I'll
You,
unpick it there. So
you
I
kind of
can
just don't know how far it goes, though, do you?
No, but
yeah,
I'll-
it feels.
I mean, this all does feel quite solid still.
Yeah.
But when I get inside, I want to cut it back to where there's no rust. One, it makes it weld a lot better, and two, once it's all welded up, wax oil, filled with wax oil, hopefully it won't come back for a while.
Okay.
This isn't quite so bad along here. Basically looking probably to here and down, and replace a bit along there. You've got your jacking point there, which no one seems to use. They use your floor,
No.
and I don't know. That's a bit crusty, but I don't know how bad that will be once I knock all that muck off of there.
Yeah. I mean, just want to grab an inspection thing just to see.
Can we have a quick?
Yeah. I mean, we might as well. I mean, it's already. It's already so holy.
Removing that,
Yeah. It's a new jacking point.
repairing that. Well, I can reuse that as long as this is solid. I can reuse it. So I drill all spot welds out, get that off. Because that rust probably goes right underneath this bit of what that's in there. So we can repair this, put that back on. And once I've done it, it'll give me a bit more room to sort this out properly.
Yeah. And what about this one?
And this side's not as bad. Do you want me to have a quick bosh at that?
Yeah, why not? That's
Let's kill it, shall we? Now that seems like, I mean, it's rusty,
Yeah.
but it's still solid.
yeah, not great, not awful.
No, but you see under there, see all the layers?
Yeah.
That's where it's blowing. The rust is in it, it's blowing it all out.
Yeah.
So it is something that's going to want doing.
And this is So basically, 2 new seals, 2 jacking points.
Well, all these panels are getting made.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Trouble is it's quite I'm not so rare car, but there's not loads of them around.
No, because
It's
they've
full,
rusted to
you can
pieces.
bowl the panels.
Yeah. All right, I'll do some research and see what I can find.
If you can find any kind of panels, outer seal panels, floor repair panels, it will save quite a lot of money in me having to make them.
Yeah, all right.
Right.
I'll put the word out to the
Yeah.
to the community and see what they can find out. I mean, I was expecting like a level of rust. You know, a old Punto and rust goes together like apple pie and custard. So I was always planning for the MOT to fail on rust. So when it did, that wasn't a surprise. I think what has really surprised me is just the level of the rust and how much it's degraded in a year of ownership. Now, yeah, okay, I live by the seaside, so the air is going to be saltier, and so that's going to cause, I guess, more degradation than I was really planning for, because you know, the sills, both inner and outer, and parts of the floor pan, and some jacking points on the rear, they're all essentially toast. And that's problematic because, you know, the parts have to be made up, and that can be expensive, but, you know, I can try and find inner and outer sills, but, you know, the labour on that is going to be expensive, even if I do find those replacement parts. So, honestly, I don't know what to do here. You know, it feels like I've been down this path before with the Cayenne, where, you know, with the best intentions, I've put lots of money into a car that isn't worth it. And I don't want to make that mistake again. You know, that was a lot of money I spent on the Cayenne. You know, should I double down and do the same again on, you know, fundamentally, what, you know, whilst it's important and special to me, you know, should I do that on the Punto? And I think realistically the answer is no. It would be stupid to do that, and that's you know, it's a real shame, because, you know, I've loved my time with the Punto and it has been a special car, but, you know, I had owned it for a little while, and, you know, I'm never in the place to be able to store my cars. I just don't have that capacity. And so whenever I buy a car, I have to really get rid of one. I'm not at that stage yet of the channel where I can afford like a storage unit where I can put, you know, project cars and essentially have cars that are with me for life. That's just not a possibility for me right now. So I need to be pragmatic on this one. I need to be very rarely sensible. And I think that means that I'm gonna have to say goodbye to the Punto, which is very sad, because that car has been with me since the beginning of the channel. It was the reason I started the channel, and it's going to be very strange and very sad to have to say goodbye to that one. And yeah, there's just a lot of emotions going on right now. And ultimately, you know, these are cars, these are things. In the grand scheme of things, they are not unimportant. Or sorry, they are not important. There's a Freudian slip. So yeah, I don't know. If one of you would want to take on the Punto, I would love it to see it go to a subscriber and someone that actually loves Puntos and Italian cars, because, you know, it can be saved. It's just a question of money or skills, and I'm lacking, you know, I'm definitely lacking in skills, and it's not something I want to do on my own. And, you know, I just don't think it's sensible for me to invest yet more money in a lost cause. I've already done that once this year, and I have to learn from the mistakes. You know, I have to learn that sometimes, no matter how much you love a car, you know, it doesn't have to be on me all the time to save it. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Will I get another Punto in the future? I don't know. But, you know, for now, I think it's just a case of, I'm going to do some further research and see how easy it is to get inner and outer sills and floor pans and jacking points, and see if I can get like pattern parts and see how much that costs, because that will save some time. But the problem I'm also thinking about a lot is that I can get all of these parts. God, this feels like such a familiar conversation. I can get all of these parts and it's still not necessarily resolve all the problems, because the Punto could have yet more hidden rust. This is only the stuff that we've been able to find very quickly on the MOT and the inspection that we did yesterday. There is going to be more, and it will be more substantial because it's hidden. So, you know, there could be areas in the boot that we haven't found yet. And I think once we start removing bits and removing the interior and getting to the raw floor pan, that's where we're going to think, or that's where we're going to find a lot more problems. And so that's what's really, in my head, is that, I've loved the Punto, I've learned a lot, and I've done a lot with it, but it doesn't have to be the only thing that this channel is about. And, and that's why you see me experiment with different cars. Some have worked, some haven't. But, I've never been a single brand guy. I've always been, as my wife will attest, interested in all cars all the time. And I think that that's something that, is going to remain true whether I have the Punto or if I have to sadly say goodbye to the Punto. So I think it makes more sense to think with my head with this one instead of my heart, learn from potentially the mistakes of the Cayenne, and I've done well by the Punto. I've given it a good last year, considering the sort of interesting history that it's had. But ultimately, as much as it kills me to say it, I think it's done enough. I think it's gone on, and I think that this is the strange thing. So and this is never going to be equivalent to losing a loved one, but if you've ever, like I have had, people seriously ill in hospital and they're dying, you get that call for you to come in to say goodbye, and you can hear from the tone from when you're speaking to someone, and I'm speaking to the guys at MS Auto Care, they're like, yeah, you need to come in and have a look. And when you hear that from the garage, it's either terminal or it's going to be terminally expensive. So I kind of, as soon as I heard that one, and I've used these guys for loads of stuff, and I really recommend them. They're really, really good. I use them for a bunch of stuff on the camper van. They've done some rust repair on the camper van, so they are 100% spot on, and they don't muck you around. And so when they called me in, it felt like kind of giving the Punto last rites. That this was terminal. And we've pushed the Punto hard. We've done a huge amount to it. We've taken it on loads of different road trips, and it's been awesome, and I've loved it to bits. But maybe it's time to let it go. Maybe it's time to give it some peace and let it rest, or rust, really. It's sad. It really is, and I'm trying not to get too emotional about it, because ultimately it's just a car, and it wasn't even my first car. It was just a car that I bought in homage to the first car that I destroyed. So, what this means for what's next with the channel and what I do on the channel, I don't know. I still need to think. We're coming up to basically a year since I launched the channel, so naturally I've been a bit introspective this month about all the stuff that we've done and all the successes we've had, but also what's the plan for year 2. And the plan for year 1 was to get through year 1, was to try and create some cool content that people like and find interesting, and do some interesting things, and learn how this YouTube thing works. Year 2 is something I need to think about. What do I do? Where do I go? What do I focus on? What things people are interested in seeing. That's all kind of percolating through my head, so I need to have a think about that. But I think for now, I'm going to do some research, as I said, and figure out some parts, and then I am going to come to a decision, but I'm pretty much 99% sure what that decision is. So if you are interested in a Fiat Punto HGT that's a few shades of yellow, has had a mere 10 previous owners, doesn't really have much of any of a sill, and needs a lot of rust repair, but you are interested in it, hit me up. Ping me on Instagram at Project40Cars, or drop a comment on this video. I'd love to hear from you. If you are a Punto specialist and you just want a challenge, then boy howdy have I got the challenge for you. And with that, I think we're done with another episode. If you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you consider liking and subscribing. And with that, I'm going to go have a think. Try not to have a cry. I'll catch you down the road.